I'm going to keep it very, very short. So I've been interacting a lot on Twitter Spaces with a lot of people who are having a lot of long-haul COVID problems, and also the countermeasure issues are a really huge problem. And so I'm interacting some. I'm doing a lot of observation, but interacting some. And so when I gave an example of how to deal with a lot of rashes going on from people who've had the countermeasure, in this situation, a 15-year-old young man, I gave, from a Chinese perspective, energetically what was going on with heat production and heat expression through the skin and how that happens according to Chinese medicine. And of course, as usual, I had some guys on there saying, you're a moron, you're an idiot, this is ridiculous, this is not scientific, it's not logical, allopathic is basically the only way to deal with anything. And I'm like, wow, okay, so where are the women doing this, right? I didn't see women doing it. I saw men doing it. And this is an ongoing pattern I have seen in 20 years of being a practitioner within the framework of Chinese medicine. Am I suggesting that Chinese medicine is the only way, the only paradigm within which to look at the world and look at human beings and health? Of course not. Anybody with a decent mind that is curious wants to understand life from as many different angles as possible to glean some type of information from it. And I usually have more women, many more women going, you know what, I'll entertain looking at it that way, or I'll entertain experiencing something in a new way, or I can suspend my dogma, my beliefs, and put it aside for a second in order to entertain something else. Do you know I don't find that does that very often? And that is men. Now, I have a few very amazing men in my life, but there's very few men in my life who are willing to do what I just said, which are to look at things and go, maybe there's another way to look at this. Maybe I could take a different perspective and look at this situation and get different angles. But it's very few. And even some of the guys that I like a lot, we get on this sticking point of, well, I just can't entertain that what you're saying is possible. Why not? Just entertain it. They won't do it. Love them. Great guys. Some of them are brilliant people. I think they're brilliant men. But they cannot step inside of something else. And it's normally a massive inflated ego issue, which involves fear and fear of looking less than. And so they won't do it. They won't look at it. And so, gentlemen, here's the deal. We are being, especially, I think especially white men, because we're fair game at this point, we're being targeted by media, by entertainment industry as being buffoons. We have all the way back from like Married with Children, right? I mean, Al was the ultimate buffoon. He was always the butt of every joke because he was an idiot. And that is how we're being portrayed. So here's the suggestion. Let's not give them fuel for that fire. Let's not actually prove them right that we're morons because we can't entertain other things. When it comes to entertaining anything beyond what we think is the real world, meaning the Western, tangible, materialistic viewpoint, because we seem to have a problem entertaining as men beyond that type of interaction with the world, anything that is deemed to be spiritual or unseen, we can't go there. And you know what that's doing to us and the world? It means women are absolutely blowing and have blown past us in their growth and development and problem solving, because more of them, many more in my little bubble of a world, are willing to look at different viewpoints and different ideas of what it means to be human. And fellas, I have very few guy friends. I mean, like very few. You know why? Because most of you are moronic assholes when it comes to dealing with you. And I don't want to deal with it. I won't deal with it. I'd rather be alone and not have friends than deal with men who cannot entertain anything beyond the stupid, do your 9-to-5 job, come home and watch a sporting event while downing a 6-pack of whatever. If that is your life, we have very little in common. Very little in common at all. I don't have to have everything line up for us to be able to communicate. But if you can't be open to entertain that it's more than just this stupid Western model that we've thrown out there as being the real world, we've got nothing in common more than likely. Very little. Not enough to even bother with my effort and your effort to try to interact. The women are leaving us and have left us behind. Grow up, dudes. Grow up. You're like giant children that never ever mature. Even all your effing degrees behind your name mean nothing to me. I'm an Ivy League graduate. I don't give a shit if you're an Ivy League graduate. In fact, I'm probably have even less in common with you because you're so locked into thinking that everything you understand as being real is what is real. We're done. So many more women, in my experience, are willing to entertain other ways of looking at life and other ways to experience life. So fellas, wake up, because you're being left behind. There's a reason why there was an anchor, a little kernel or more than a kernel of truth to absolutely, what's the word I'm looking for? Create this model that men are buffoons. Because there's a kernel of truth in it because of a narrative we've bought into. It's also why so many men over the last 3.5 years, you're like, dudes, hey guys, listen to me. Listen, just think about this for a second. What if all those authority figures in those 3-letter agencies don't actually have your best interest at heart? What if this countermeasure is a planned agenda to get you to roll up your sleeve and then give your life away? What if that's what it's for? What if there are actually people that are that evil out there? What if? No, Keith, you're a moron. You know what you're talking about. They would never do that. These people care about us. It's a medical community. It's politicians. Politicians always have our best interests at heart. Where have you been? And so when I talk about what I do, I get lampooned as being an absolute New Age idiot. I'm so far from New Age, it's not even funny. That you can't even find a toehold on that one. There's nothing to hook that I'm New Age. But I am willing to entertain that what it means to be human is far beyond what is being portrayed by Western men. Straight, gay, bi, whatever you want to call yourselves, the overarching theme for dudes, like guys that have penises and testicles born in this world. That's what I mean by a dude, because that's the only dude there is. Overall, no matter what you identify as, you still hold this idiotic Western, locked-in, myopic view of what life is. And I'm done with it. I've been done with it. Wake up. You're already being left behind, and it's going to be so far gone. You want to talk about matriarchal society? Forget all this, and women, now it's time to piss you off. All this ridiculous goddess talk. Oh, this goddess this and goddess that. Stop doing that. That makes you sound like absolute New Age goo-goos. Don't know what a goo-goo is, but it's something now. Embrace everybody, who you are. If you're a woman, that's innately in you to be this powerful, in your own way, female version of a Homo sapien. Embrace that. Why are you reaching out to all this goddess stuff? It's who you are. It's already in there. I mean, if guys walked around going, well, I'm now conjuring up the God essence. Okay, isn't that who you already are? How about we just claim who we are, who we're born in this world as, and slough off all the garbage that's been piled on top of who we really are and embrace that. Embrace who we are as men and women and dance the dance that we were intended to dance. Dance the dance that all of this nature around me already does without trying to figure it out. They just do what actually is built into them, that's built into the flow of nature. All of that is what they're doing. And they don't have to go to school or read a book. They just have to absolutely tap into who they really are and live that life. That's it. That's all you got to do. So gentlemen, wake up. Wake up, slough off the stupid stereotypes and start looking at life in as many ways as you can so you can actually explore who you really are. Thanks for watching. Talk to you guys later.